Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Page of Swords podcast. This is episode 50. Thank you guys for following along. We're at 50 episodes now, and I'm bringing back Mandy Harbin, who it's been a while for the podcast because you were on episode, I think it was like 6 or 7, and you were an amateur, and I'm happy to bring you back because you won that pro card, girl. You were an amateur back when I had you before.
Yes, I was.
So what's been kind of new, I suppose? I guess the right question I should be asking is, so where did you win your pro card for everybody listening?
So the last time you had me on, I think I had just done North Americans and missed my pro card by one. 10 weeks later, I think it was 9 or 10 weeks later, I went on to Universe and won my pro card in both physique and figure. I did win it in physique first because physique went on first, and my husband was like, "Yay, you got your pro card." And I was like, "No, I didn't." He was like, "Yeah, you did." And I was like, "No, I don't have my pro card till I get it in figure. I'm not a physique competitor." Yeah. And so I actually apologized on one of the podcasts I did before. I was like, "Sorry to any of the girls who were physique," and I might have stole that because I really wasn't trying to get my pro card in physique. It was just another option. But yeah, that is where I won it.
Yeah. And gosh, girl, I did hear that podcast too, because I thought that was really nice of you to kind of say that, because I don't think too many people really realize, it's awesome that you are so good. You won in 2 divisions, but you can really only pick one to go pro in later on, right? So it is kind of you earned it. But yeah, deep down you're like, man, somebody could have turned pro with me. Yeah. But that's okay. So at least you got to do it. I do really like that as an amateur that you were able to do physique, because I'm sure it was fun to do routines and stuff.
It was. I was really out of my comfort zone because I am not a coordinated person. And I remember Autumn was still coaching me then, and she is very coordinated. And she was so good with me, trying to learn the poses, and I practiced so much. And when I went on stage, I remember right before we went out, there was 2 other girls in the physique division, and Brandy said, I said, "Wait," I was watching the groups, the shorter girls before us. And I said, "Wait, is that their routine?" And she's like, "No, you go out and do it to the stage music, to the whatever they play. And then at the night show, you do your routine." I was like, uh-oh. She was like, "Just wing it. Don't overthink it." And so she was so sweet. And Brandy was awesome backstage. And so, but yeah, I just got out there and I literally just winged it. I did not even, I remember thinking, "What are you doing, Mandy?" But it was so fun.
I was just talking to somebody, Emily, she was on my last episode, and we were kind of discussing how it seems like sometimes you go into a show with less pressure. You're just kind of going in for fun. Everybody wants to win, of course, but I know when you put less pressure on yourself, it seems to go better than expected.
Yeah, I would say that too, except, I did my pro debut in July, and I did that prep in 7 weeks. And I actually surprisingly looked very good, probably the best I've ever looked. But up against the competition, it was, they smoked me. So I knew, but I didn't go to that show to win. I didn't go to that show to even place. I went to get my feet wet on the pro stage and say, "Okay, so my next one, I'm going to be ready."
Yeah. Yes. And so when you won that pro card and came off of that win and everything, what did you obviously you shut it down. So what was in your thought process after turning pro? Were you I need the break? Or were you let's hurry up into a pro show? Where were you at mentally?
I needed a break. My plan was we talked about this on the last podcast. I had been in prep for 30 weeks.
Okay.
So I was exhausted, straight exhausted. And I told my husband, I was like, "I got to take a year off." Yeah. And so that was the plan. And, then we turn around and the next year gets here and somebody asked me to do a guest posing. And I obviously needed to prep a little bit for that. And then I saw how well, even with still semi-high calories, semi-low cardio, getting lean for that, I was like, there's a show in Atlanta 3 hours from here. Maybe I'll just do that pro show. And that's why I did it. I really did need to take some time off, but I was like, why not?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you eventually, you are now, right? Well, not really, because you went back in the prep. So how long has your off season been?
So that show was July 21st, I think, or something around that date. And so then I started prep for this one January 1st. So about 6 months.
Yeah. So yeah, you did the Chicago Pro July 7th. And so do you mind me asking, when did you leave Autumn? Like, because I know you guys are still close, right?
Yes, love her to death.
Yeah.
She's great. Gosh, she's so sweet. But it was in October. I went into my off season after July, and I basically used what she still had a plan for me.
Okay.
But Autumn was very, very serious about her competitive career at that point, and most of us know that, and which is totally fine. She has all right to. And I just felt like I needed to focus on myself, and she needed to focus on her. And so I took, she gave me macros and meal plans. So I just basically ran with the macros for a while, which was nice because it gave me a little mix up in food. But then I started searching for a coach in September and interviewed. If I can give any advice to competitors looking for a coach, write down all your questions, take weeks, have a document somewhere. Things come up, jot it down. I had 23 questions, I think, total that I sent to these 5 different coaches. And depending on how they responded was how I chose. Some responded with, like just one-off answer. Like I just was not interested in the way they responded. But when Luke responded, he literally sent me a video response of him going through some of the answers. But then he said, hey, let's just schedule a meeting and talk through these. And so I was like, okay. And so we did. And he showed me his entire process for coaching right there on that meeting with maybe 45 minutes. His coaching his detail is immaculate. Like, and I am a very detail oriented person. So like the spreadsheet, the first thing I do after I use the bathroom, brush my teeth, I come in here and sit at my computer and fill out my spreadsheet for the day. And it's all the way down to what type of poop you had that day.
Yes. And believe me, my coach will ask for that kind of stuff too. All of that matters for sure.
So yeah, that I did start with Luke in October.
Okay. Good deal. And so are there any type of questions that you asked that, maybe a competitor wouldn't think to ask that you could share?
Actually,
I'm trying, because that would be really cool for like, I'm trying to think like there's obviously really good questions, but I think people they don't know where to even ask because if they're new to competing, they might be like, all they can think about is that maybe like a show in mind. They'll be like, I want to do XY show. Can you get me there? But then they like, they don't even know to ask like, how is your check-in set up? What options do you have for, like, do you do like workout plans or supplements? So
one of my questions was, and the reason I asked this specifically because with previous preps, I've never had cheat meals in any preps or any off seasons.
Okay.
So I was very like, before something clicked after my first pro show, but before my first pro show, I was so food focused. I was so jealous of all these people that were getting to eat what they wanted to and have a cheat meal once. I was so jealous. So one of my questions was, off season, do you prefer a client to follow a specific meal plan, or are macros okay as long as they're clean sources? Do you have cheat meals in your plan? Things like that. Wasn't a huge showstopper because Luke doesn't do cheat meals.
Okay.
I've not had one cheat meal since October.
Okay.
Even in my off season. I did have Thanksgiving, but I still went with pretty much all protein and some greens.
Yeah.
So I've really stuck to it since being with Luke. But I ask, one of the things is, how do they assess your needs? Like, so with Luke, I sent him my first pictures ever. Before we even started together, he wanted to see my pictures. And he wanted to assess what is my strong points and my weak points. My strong point were, what are these called?
The traps and stuff.
The traps. That was my one strong point. I was like, oh Lord, we're in for We're in for a lot of work. So, but it was fun to see, like, he literally went through the body and listed out everything and what we're going to do to fix it. I also asked about PED protocols. I wanted to know, about female hormones. And that is something I haven't had in previous preps, someone who knew like the science behind it. And really, not that we have doctors for coaches, but Luke knows the what and the why and the need and the how, and can answer all the questions and can fix them.
Yes.
So I ask about step goals. Obviously, how much do you cost?
Yeah.
Do you use pictures as well as weight? That was the difference between coaches. Previous coach did not want weight. Luke wants weight every day.
Oh, yeah. Every day.
So it's on my sheet every day, but he does it like a
Okay.
weekly total.
Okay.
So yeah, it is so every morning my weight that morning is on there, and then it tallies on his little sheet. It tallies out the total for that week, and then he goes by that week's number. But yeah, those are some of the questions. Lab panels. Do you count body fat percentages? Do you want to see that kind of stuff?
Yeah. And I would assume if he knows how to work with hormones and stuff like that, I'm sure that's a no-brainer that he knows how to read labs. But I think that that's a very good point to bring up, that if someone is looking for a coach, especially as females, like, make sure you're looking for someone that can manage hormones so that you're not damaged later. And that if you get blood, which I think most coaches, if not all, should be like requiring a blood test. They should know how to kind of read it, like, yeah, you can ask a doctor for another opinion, but I think a coach should be able to look at it and be like, yes, we're good in good ranges, or like, whoa, like, we're not in a good place to prep, like, I'm sorry. And they need to be upfront with you. And that's very important, because I think that's kind of what we're running into now. It's just all these coaches pop up and I'm like, oh boy, do you like actually know what you're looking at in detail? And then you're at the pro level. So like that, it's a must. It's a must.
I agree.
And so that's great that you found Luke. And I know that I had Olivia Gavingard on, and she's with Luke also. So yeah, he has some good figure ladies, right?
Yes.
And do you think you'll make it down there to Texas to train with him?
Oh, it's on my bucket list.
Is
I
it?
want to go so bad. I really, July 11th is my birthday. And I told my husband, I was like, for my birthday, I want to go to Texas and train at Destination Dallas. He was like, that's what you want for your birthday? I was like, yes, but I'll be competing still.
Yeah, it's true. Well, at least Texas is a nice state to travel to. So it doesn't sound extremely weird to want to go there for vacation. And I know what you, I know. You got to do, man, too bad you couldn't do one of the Texas pro shows down there. And I wanted to bring up too, I know that in one of your podcasts too, you were mentioning about how, your husband's very supportive, but I'm sure sometimes, with the Tupperware at dinner and stuff, he kind of wishes you could enjoy. But I want to say, like, that's so important and so rare. So I'm so glad you have a supportive husband that, can handle all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, so it's good to see you got a new coach. So how was the pro debut then? So how was Chicago? Because that was in Atlanta, even though Chicago. So that's not too far from you, right? How long was that?
Yeah, 3-hour drive.
Oh, perfect. So why not? And how did that go? Like, I mean, I've heard backstage is awesome. Did you have a good time there?
It was awesome. Everything went very smooth. Like I said, it wasn't my best. It wasn't. I mean, 7 weeks in prep, and then I was also eating like half of a cookie every night, the big fat cookies.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't a huge success, but I wasn't going in with the mindset of I'm going to win this. I was going in to meet these pros and to step on stage with them and see how I looked compared to them. And honestly, like there was 4 call outs. I got third. If you look at the way we were placed, it might have been 15th or 16th place. After 16th, they kind of stopped. So
yeah,
I think they stopped at 15 on this one, but it might have been around that. So I wasn't like, there was 27 in our group.
I was gonna say, if you remembered the total. Yeah.
Pretty big group.
Yeah.
But yes, backstage, that's what I was most nervous for, was like, who am I going to talk to? What am I going to do? But gosh, everybody was so sweet. And I met the sweetest, I don't know if you know Larhana.
Yes, Lorana. Yeah, she's from
Oh
Texas
my
too.
gosh,
So
she's so
nice.
sweet. And she's competing in the Pittsburgh Pro with me.
Yeah.
And the other day I was talking to her and she was like, I'll meet you in the middle, talking about splitting center.
So cute. Oh,
How sweet is she? Like, just everybody was so sweet. And yeah, met some really great girls. And I didn't really get like the nerves until I stepped on the edge of the stage, and then I was like, this is a pro stage.
yeah.
Mandy, you're about to step on a pro stage, And
Yeah.
so then I got a little bit of the butterflies, but I just got up there and did it, and it felt good. We enjoyed it. And of course it was in Atlanta, so it wasn't far. And I will be doing it again this year.
Awesome. And did you pose with Autumn for that show? Or
I did.
yeah, because I was gonna say that was your first time having some more stage time too. So I was wondering.
Yeah, it was, the only thing is, like, I didn't have anything new with my posing. It was all my same. So I'm with Kenny now.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
my posing, if you haven't noticed, my posing has changed drastically.
I love Kenny. Yeah, he sure did change me too. So I'm glad that you're working
He's
with
so
him.
cool.
Yes, I know. And I feel like, and I know you're very detail oriented, and this goes for anybody that's interested in Kenny. I think you need to come prepared with questions, just
Yes.
like how you did with
And
Luke.
have a pen and paper.
Yes, you need to, because Kenny's a busy guy. You need to be like, how do you like this pose, or what I need to work on this. Like, you need to go to Kenny with like a serious professionalism and be like, this is what I think. What do you think? And remember that, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't get to buy very many from him, but the two that we've had so far, we have one more before Pittsburgh, and then I'll probably buy some in between. But
Yeah,
we've done so much in just the two that we've had.
absolutely.
And I wasn't a very good practicer
Okay.
earlier in my career, but
I was
now
gonna say, you are now.
I practice every day. And my accountability post is social media, and it just helps me say, Mandy, you got to go do your pose, and people are looking for it.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love your posing. Like, and I do look forward to it, because I mean, and I see your body change too. And I'm like, man, she is coming in hot too. Like, because you know how it is in prep, like your body starts to change. And as you pose, like things start to look different too. So you got to keep practicing.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Oh, and then on that note too, if you want to book with Kenny, you got to do it like ASAP. Don't wait, because Kenny books up real fast. Like you just said, like you've had two and you're not really getting as many as you'd like. And it's like, yeah, because you got to do like 3 months advance with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's awesome. I'm glad that things are going well with the posing, and because that's what's on my mind. I'm like, as a first pro show, I'm like, you get more stage time, and like obviously you're nervous too. Did you get any like feedback from Chicago?
No, I didn't get anything, because you can't email, like they don't do the whole email thing at pro show. You have to stay. And my husband was like, let's go. I mean, because I got third call out. So he's like,
Okay.
They probably don't remember you. No, he didn't say that. But I mean, it's probably true. There were 27 of us on that, just that, there was tons of them. So yeah, that I know, obviously we know what our weaknesses are.
Yeah.
Posing was one of my weaknesses.
Okay. Yeah, and it's I mean, you do one show and you got your feet wet and kind of went back to the drawing board, and new coach and everything else. So I can understand that this just mentally was good for you to just finish that, or just get it in and then call it, so
Yeah, like it's almost just kind of gets the nerves out of the way for your first pro show, because that was my pro debut, but I'm considering this Pittsburgh show to be my pro debut in my head, my pro debut.
I agree too, because even looking at next year's schedule for myself, I mean, because I'm here in Pittsburgh, I would love Pittsburgh to be the, I would like to do that show, but I'm kind of like you, where it's like, I feel like I kind of need that warm up show to get those like pro mindset jitters out, like do the Boston or something. That way, when I come to Pittsburgh, when my whole family and everybody's here, you don't feel like a little shaky deer. Because I don't think, no matter what, it's a new experience. This isn't the NPC.
And you said something. So one of the things with moving to Luke was I needed to clear my head of everything as a pro and get somebody who could take me to that next pro level. Even though I was a pro, I needed the next level of a pro. And I have, like I was saying, I've 100% followed everything he's told me to a T. And you're really good about following your plan, like your meal plan. You're really like, I give it to you because it is real. I mean, I have kids and a husband we talked about this last time, like food is everywhere. Look, I mean, see those oranges? I'd love to have
I see them.
But food is everywhere. But something clicked after stepping on that pro stage.
Yeah.
Even that night, I didn't binge. I normally binge after. I mean, I go out. I eat like a 300-pound man. I'm not even kidding. And even that night, I was like, we had some stuff, but something clicked and I did it. I was like, food is fuel. Get over it. Follow your plan. You're a pro.
Yep.
And I'm just I don't know. And I love it. Like, I love that I'm like that now.
Yes, it is a good slap in the face. I didn't even realize how strict, I mean, like you said, like you've got a kids and husband, and I do not know what that's like. And I can't imagine because I'm here in my little bubble. But when I went to the Arnold and I stayed with my friend who's a competitor, she just kept commenting on how strict I am. And I'm just like, but I'm just following my plan.
Right.
And she's just like, well, I kind of just do this, or if I want something, I'll eat it. And even like some of my lifting friends are like that. And I'm just like, because I'm like you, like if you let me off the leash, I'll eat everything. So it's just better. And I'm like you also, where my coach only gives a cheat meal if like I need it, and it's very rare. And I think that's what we do have to tell ourselves, that this is fuel. And once you're a pro, then you got to act like it, like, you got to think about the other girl. Is she cheating? Because I tell you what, the Olympia girls aren't cheating. They want that spot so bad that food, no.
Yeah, you're right. Luke doesn't, like I said, he doesn't do cheat meals, but we do refeeds. And this prep is going to be an 18-week prep total. So Friday will be 4 weeks out. So we've been in prep for 14 weeks, which is pretty long for my body type because I get lean pretty quick. But we're working together for the first time. So he had no idea. So, but the cool thing is we've got to incorporate refeeds like 6 times. And like today was a high day. I got an extra 160 grams of carbs today. Cool. So, and yesterday I had 130 extra, and we're 4 weeks out from show.
And I know you love oatmeal. Are you getting your oatmeal?
I got off the oatmeal kick and moved to Pride Foods cream of rice. And it is the shit.
I do like cream of rice. Hell yeah. And yeah, because you talk about you like Flavor Gang, and we have Pride Foods, because I'm the same way. Like I got both. I have to say, I think Pride Foods.
I like to mix them.
Yeah, I've done that before. Like the strawberry Flavor Gang, and then I had like the coconut Pride's food.
Yeah.
Ooh, real good.
I like to do the Pride Food brownie batter because it's real thick when it warms up, and do it with the creamy peanut butter Pride Food creamy peanut butter, Flavor Gang brownie batter, mix that so it's like a peanut butter brownie.
Ooh, that sounds amazing. And you know what's crazy? Because I know we like our sweet stuff, like people probably think that's crazy how excited we get, but it's perfect. It's
so good.
Plus it's guilt-free in our head, because as a competitor, like you're getting the carbs you need, and it's clean, and it is like the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I'm glad that Chicago went really well. And are you going to be getting a new suit for this year?
Funny thing, during off season, in my 6-month off season, I found 2 used suits, which are purple. Okay. And of course I tried them on in off season. I was like, ooh, I'm not a fan. Well, I put them on a couple of weeks ago. They're beautiful. Yeah. And then I don't know if you know Stephanie K. She's a figure pro.
I'm sure I do, but
she's blonde. So she's one of my best friends. She's like not even close to me, but we talk every single day. We send each other pictures every day. So she just sent me one of her suits that she wore at Texas State. Yeah. And it's a Tia Marie. So I tried it on. I just took some check-in pictures because I had to do post-workout check-ins today. Yep. And it's even more gorgeous than the other 2 I have. It's also purple. But I won a figure suit from Kata. Kata, K-A-T-A. Is that how you spell it? They say it. Mm-hmm. She did a giveaway back at the beginning of the year, and I won it. And so she is sending me a custom made suit, like $1,000 or more. And it should be here in 2 weeks. So we're really close. So I don't know how it'll fit, but if it fits, I'm going to wear that one. And it is something you've never seen.
Well, yeah, I can't wait to see it. Then that's why I had to ask, because I mean, the pro debut is like something, but once you get up there with the other girls and stuff, I'm sure your mind just changes about suits and what you want to try. And the interesting thing with the Pittsburgh is this is a new venue this year, so I'm not really 100% sure what this like stage will look like or what backdrop they might do. So you really can't go off of that either.
It's true. Yeah, I'm excited. So I usually do go with the blues. I decided with purples this year, obviously, and then this oddball one that we're having designed. We'll see how it works out.
Oh, so exciting. Oh my goodness. And yeah, so you're thinking Pittsburgh and Chicago for this year, and then maybe something else, or
so there's actually one in between there, which is June 11th, but it's not a qualifier. It's a Masters show in Marietta, Georgia. It's the
is that the Atlanta Pro or something else?
It's called, I can't remember. It has a Z on the end. It's a Masters show.
Okay.
But it's 35 and over, and I'm just about to be 36, so I finally am a master apparently.
Hey,
so I thought, since I'm in prep, it's in between Pittsburgh and Atlanta or Atlanta Pro. I would do that one because top 3 get prize money. It's not a qualify or Olympia points, but it's money in the bank if you win. And I think I could do really well in it being a master now. Yeah, so we're going to do that one. And then possibly Tampa Pro August 4th.
Okay. And those are all pretty close to you. So
that would be the end. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're keeping it local-ish, because I'm trying, well, I mean, East Coast, I should say. Have you ever done a West Coast show?
No. Nope.
Yeah. Hey girl, you might have to try that out sometime. Go over there. It was fun for USAs, I know. But then, hey, maybe we'll get into the Olympia possibly, and then you'll be in Vegas.
We'll see. My goal this year, and you've probably heard it on other podcasts, but my goal is to do 3 or 4 this year, kind of see what happens, where I line up. Obviously, I want to do the best I can. Top 10 would be great. Top 5 would be even greater.
Yeah.
And then next year would be, okay, let's get some points.
Okay, definitely.
Let's rock it out.
But that's good that you already have like 3 or 4 shows in mind, because I think that's what happens when you're a pro. It's like the first year or 2, unless you're some crazy genetic freak, I think the priority is just to get your face out there and get the judges to recognize you. Right. And then I think it's great that you're starting a YouTube channel, because nowadays, I mean, Jay Cutler talks about it all the time. He's like, everybody should have a YouTube channel.
That's funny. But I love watching other competitors' stuff, and you're probably the same way. Like addicted to it. Mm-hmm. And like, what is her name? She's a bikini competitor, Lauren
Laura Dennemiller.
Yeah. So I just love watching everybody's. I really wish more women did it. There's a ton of guys, day of, full day of eating, day in the life of, but there's not really a whole lot of girls.
No, especially figure.
Yes, there's a lot of bikini girls, but there's not very many. Megan Sylvester, she's got one. There's a couple of other figure girls, but yeah, so I was like, let's just start small and get a couple out there. And then if people really want to see it, I'm going to really try. I'll show you what I got.
Yeah, what'd you get? Good camera. Oh, it's like is that like a GoPro?
Yes. Okay. And it has the zoom feature, and it has the tripod. It's all connected. So I got this, and that's hopefully going to help me get some more footage.
I saw that you were doing like a video of your back. I saw the stick, and I was like, what does she have that's like a stick?
My kids, they videoed for me. So they're super excited because, they're all into technology. So they're like, oh, we're holding this thing, and we get to video mom. As it'll get old soon. They'll be like, we don't want to video you. But
they do so good. I love it. Your kids like so good at because that's like super awesome, because oops, my thing's being weird. It's super awesome because people are like looking for videographers and stuff, and you're just kind of like, I got my kids, they're good.
I would love one, but somebody reached out yesterday. He's in Kentucky. Autumn sent him to me, and he's going to be at Pittsburgh Pro. He's like, do you need a photographer or a videographer? And I was like, I could use him to do my video. Cause I think I'm going to try to do peak week and show day.
Yeah, definitely.
Blog, YouTube.
Mhm.
It's my thing is like something that I think is important. Others might not. And then others might want to see something. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't video that.
Just film it all or just try to. I know I do the same thing.
And then edit through it.
Yeah, people love food. I know like I've been wanting to film like foam rolling and stretching, but I think it looks so stupid. But I'm like, someone might like actually want to see how I foam roll. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. Like the whole meal prepping for my husband, I'm like, there's probably not going to be anybody interested in this. But then I thought, well, I get lots of questions on how, I'm not a competitor, but how can I eat healthy? So I thought, well, that might be something somebody's interested in.
Yeah. You just got to do it all. Yeah. Just put content out there. Someone might watch it. And like you said, start small and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other projects you got in the line?
Not really. I did just get a promotion at my job. So a little more work on me there. And then I think we talked about it last time. I still own an online training business. I do online clients that started when COVID happened because a lot of people didn't know how to work out without a gym.
Yeah.
And it just turned into kind of a business or a side hustle for me. And all of that money is how I pay for my competitions.
Yep. And I remember you kind of talked about that too in a recent podcast.
Yeah.
So, that's great. Because honestly, like you said, some people just need basic information. You don't have to put somebody on stage, but there's so many other people that are just like, I want to look good for the beach and
right.
So.
And I did, when I first started, I wasn't certified, but I did go through all the classes and got NETA certified and got my personal training certificate. Like I went through I feel like boss lady.
Oh yeah. Actually thinking about that, I just remembered a question that a fan asked. They wanted to know your training style between Autumn and Luke. Like what kind of training, because I'm sure Luke is a little more intense. So what was the difference in training going from the two?
So that's a really good question. So I wouldn't even say Luke's is more intense, actually. It is more focused.
Okay.
With Autumn, it was still, they're both around an hour to an hour and 15 minutes session wise. But with Autumn, I was working out a lot more, but that was probably partly my choice as well.
Yeah.
But the reps were really high.
Okay.
With Luke, it is very slow and controlled and focused on the muscle and focused on the connection and making sure that you're only hitting a rep range that's in control.
Okay.
Do not like, if I'm going to go to failure, it better be still within control. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the style, when I started with Luke, I actually remember saying, this seems easy.
Yeah.
Because it was like 4 exercises. It was like 2 sets each with warm-up sets. And I wasn't used to that. Like I was used to having like a list this long of exercises with like 5 sets each with 15 to 20 reps. Mm-hmm. And it was literally four movements on back day. I was like, what is this? This is going to be so easy. So I had to video for the first several weeks. I had to video all my training and he had to tell me, do this, do this, do this. And then I was like, oh, it's not easy. Like I'm not doing it right. I didn't train my shoulders right for 3 years until I met Luke.
Game changer.
Until I met Luke, I did not train shoulders correctly.
And that is so worth every penny with a new coach, isn't it? Just it's changing. So, and like you just said, you were going to the next level with turning pro. And to me, it sounds like the answer you were looking for. I'm super proud of you. I'm so excited to see you hit the stage and I get to see you at Pittsburgh. So yay. Is there anything else you want to like give a shout out or anything too?
No, I think that's it. I'm so glad you had me back on. I love following you too. And you're doing amazing things.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, and thanks for coming back on the podcast. Yeah, it's girl, I like I've said in the last podcast that we did together, like I remember seeing you in 2020 out there outside sweating your ass off doing the COVID exercise. And I just could not believe it. I was like, you are so motivational. Could you imagine having your YouTube channel back then?
Oh my gosh. I know. I did have one, but I didn't know how to use it.
Well, yeah. I know what you mean, but girl, like I just remember that being so inspirational, and I'll never forget that. Like you're like the COVID training outside master.
That it was a lot. And I went hard.
Oh, girl. Hey, oh, also, is Luke coming to the Pittsburgh show with you?
He should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Have you?
Yeah. And Kenny will be there too. And Kenny's already told me he was going to find me backstage and make sure
Yeah.
I'm on point. But yeah, Luke is, I think he's planning on being there.
Awesome. Yeah, I
So
think
that'll be the first time I've ever had a coach at my show.
I was going to ask you that. That's all because that is a game changer. I will say it is really nice if it can happen. So I'm glad that this is going to happen for you.
I'm really excited. I mean, we have 4 weeks to just
Yeah.
kick it into gear. And I don't know I have to check in again tomorrow morning. So after these 2 high days, we'll check in again tomorrow and probably gonna push the gas pedal for another week and then probably another high day or 2 and then push it again. So
That's how it is, girl. You got to just keep the foot on the pedal and just, coast, then throttle and then coast.
yeah, but I'm feeling good. This has been the best prep I've ever had as far as,
Look good.
energy and things like that. I've probably had 4 days total out of this 14 weeks that have just been like, I can't move days.
Yeah.
And he always knows how to fix it.
Yeah.
I can just say my legs feel heavy and he's like, here's what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did you do that? Or he notices, he'll
Yeah.
see my check-in and he'll say, do your legs feel heavy today? And I'm like, yes, sir. And he's like, I said, how did you know? He's like, I can see it in your pictures.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
That's his job and he clearly
cool.
can do it. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to see this for you. And I know Luke working with, I'm sure you follow John Jewett, those guys are just
Yeah.
smart, so smart. So yeah. All right, girl. Well, again, thanks for coming on and have a good Wednesday. And for everybody, your YouTube is just Mandy Harbin, right? And then your Instagram is okay.
It's Mandy Harbin _ IFBB Pro.
Okay, cool. And I'll have that in the show notes for everybody too.
Awesome.
All right. Have a good one, girl. See you
Thanks, girl. You too.
Bye.
Bye.